Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. The Season 3 Reloaded update ended up including a bunch of different weapon changes, including to some of the top tier SMGs. We saw nerfs to things like the Owen Gun. We saw other changes elsewhere as well to take some SMGs out of the conversation like the LAP. But today, I wanted to break down the new best SMGs to be running in Warzone right now. As we go through them all, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. It really does help grow the channel. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, you already know each and every single day I got you covered with everything going on in COD. So feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. So let's start first with the hardest hitting SMG that we have in the game right now, the Type 100. This thing's TTK essentially unmatched by almost everything else in Warzone right now. Up close, this thing just fries. It's going to decimate absolutely everyone. It is a bit harder to use than some of the other subs though. The recoil here is not nearly as forgiving. So first up, we're gonna go for the recoil booster, increase that fire rate, give us that better TTK. Also gonna go for the rapid barrel. Now, this is gonna hurt the way that the weapon performs when it comes to control. It doesn't say it as a con there, but it's a bit more bouncy because that fire rate is getting a little bit more out of control, but also giving you that better TTK over time. I like the slate reflector on here, not super huge on the iron sights personally, especially with the sort of awkward bounce. Slate just is nice and easy to use up close. The stock here, we're going for the T100, better horizontal control, which is huge. This weapon's got a lot of that, a lot of side to side bounce, if you will. Also better ADS, so you'll love to see that. Perk 1, I'm going to end up going for Gung Ho, eliminate that sprint to fire, so it's going to make it super aggressive for those close range fights. Also quick for the better sprint speed, making it a bit more aggressive. I'm going to end up also using the hatched grip here. This is better horizontal control yet again, so once more helping out there. Magazine, I'm still liking the Kurz 48. 30 Russian short has a phenomenal TTK, but 36 rounds is just so tough with 300 HP. 48 is a lot more usable in my opinion. Frangible or lengthened in this case. And then lastly, going for hand stop as well to help out with that control. Like I said, very few guns, let alone very few SMGs are going to be able to outgun this up close. Next up, just to get it out of the way, we all know the Owen Gun is sort of that go-to SMG still. Yeah, it got nerfed with Season 3 Reloaded, but the main TTK build here that again might be a bit harder to use for some players is still an absolute demon right now. Like, it's one of the best choices any player can use when it comes to just getting quick kills up close. So for this, we're going for recoil booster first and foremost. No barrel in this case. None of these really work for this build. The control is just not worth it. Slate reflector or the Model 47, whichever optic you prefer. Remove stock for the better mobility. Also definitely going for hand stop here because the recoil is pretty noticeable. Using the 8mm 60 round drums here. Better damage, better velocity, better range. It's great for like some sniper support in some cases, but also the TTK with this is just absolutely phenomenal. Lengthens and polymer per usual. Perk 1 going for acrobatic for the better mobility, and then perk 2 quick yet again for that better sprint speed. Very aggressive, perfect for the SMG range that obviously we're using all these in. So this in the Type 100 about as fast as it gets when it comes to close range TTK. Of course, a fan favorite, the MP40, still frying. This was not touched at all in the Season 3 Reloaded update. Great mobility, great control, really good close range TTK. Like, that's all the pros you want to see on an SMG. Ryman accidentally sound like Chris Smoove out here. First up, recoil booster. We're also running the short barrel for the better range, better mobility and whatnot. Slate reflector on here is my go-to. I just like that basic red dot. Folding stock for the better sprint speed and the better movement speed. Also going for skeletal under barrel in this case for that snappier ADS, makes it very aggressive up close. Grenko 45 makes it very easy to use. Lengthened or frangible if you want to, per usual. Fabric in this case for the better ADS and better sprint to fire. I don't feel like the recoil is bad enough to have to use polymer in this case. Perk 1 going for perfectionist for the better control, and then perk 2 going for quick for that better mobility once more. The usual perk 2 on any sub. It gets old, I know, but it works. Then yeah, MP40 here, still a beast. Now, weapon that I've been enjoying a lot more recently, the Armagera. This thing has definitely increased in popularity over the past couple of weeks, especially as we see nerfs to some of these other Vanguard subs, and not to this one. It's going to, you know, increase in overall competitiveness as well. And right now, the thing feels very, very good. Recoil booster as always on this one. I'm liking the 550mm barrel. Better control, better velocity, makes it slightly more versatile for some mid-range. Also just makes it so easy to use, and we get good mobility on the setup by the end of it as is, so you don't really lose too much with that. Slate reflector in my opinion, I'm just again not super huge on the iron sights. Folding stock for the better sprint to fire and better movement. Hand stop just to maintain some control in there as well. 9mm 60 here works fine, just your standard extended mag, basic extended mag there. Again, lengthened or frangible if you want. I feel like you can get away using fabric here. The recoil between hand stop and the barrel is fine, so that better ADS is crucial. Hard scope here for the better control though, and then again, quick for that better sprint speed. Nice and aggressive, but also still super easy to use. We also got to mention the H4 Blixen, our newest SMG. This thing has a really good TTK, also great for close range and some sniper support as well. Very versatile, very well balanced in my opinion. When it comes down to it, the unlock challenge, super annoying, but also worth it because this thing is easily one of the better subs in the game right now. Again, going for recoil booster. I personally like the F3 barrel here. The RMK is also pretty good for that optimal TTK, but for general versatility, F3 is just the easiest to use. Just like over on the Armagera, gives you nice versatility for close range and some mid range if you need it. Slate reflector per usual. Gonna go for the remove stock. MB is also good if you want slightly better control, but some good mobility nonetheless. Perk 1 in this case, going for Perfectionist for that better control. Perk 2, quick as always. Gonna end up running Polymer for that better control yet again. I like the Gorenko 54 here. Better control, better headshot damage, better ADS. Perfect for, you know, an aggressive build for close and medium range, honestly. Lengthened or, again, frangible if you really want it. And then lastly, Skeletal is usable here, as is hand stop. If you want a faster ADS, obviously go for Skeletal. If you want to guarantee great control, go for hand stop. Totally comes down to your preference there. But yeah, H4 Blixen, very, very solid choice. The PPSH also is on this list for sure. One of the better TTKs through that first initial damage range for subs. There was a playlist update and then there wasn't. I understand nothing. Anyways, PPSH close range, very solid. Great TTK, great mobility, great control per usual. Recoil booster first and foremost. We're going for the ADS build in this case, so Zach 300 barrel. I like the ISO 3P iron sights. If you're not comfortable with them, go for a slate reflector. Just comes down to preference. Remove stock for the better mobility. Hand stop just to maintain some control on there. Gorenko 71, just your basic extended mag in this case. Lengthened or frangible. Rear grip, still gonna go for polymer. Fabric is also totally usable if you want that better ADS. Just comes down to what you value more. Tight grip and then quick as always on there as well. Pretty basic setup, but it is a fun SMG. A little bit underrated compared to some of these other ones that we've already talked about, but definitely one of the top competitors in this current SMG meta. And then lastly, of course, we got the well gun. And yes, that does in fact mean no Cold War, no Modern Warfare subs anymore. The Lapa got nerfed, the OTS got nerfed. Maybe you could make an argument for the Cold War MP5, but when it comes to these options that we've already talked about and the well gun here, I'd rather go for 10 attachments, get more benefits out of a gun than having a close TTK compared to what we already have with most of these. For the well gun here though, going for recoil booster, gonna go for the shrouded barrel now because the slight nerf to the short one that we got with the season 3 reloaded update. Slate reflector, remove stock per usual, hand stop here to maintain some control. Gorenko 40 for that better movement speed and better control. Lengthened per usual, polymer or fabric. I feel like the control is pretty good, so I'll go for fabric in this case. Gonna go for acrobatic, and then lastly, quick for the final time today. Very consistent. Again, good for some close range and some medium range fights like several of these SMGs are. And there you have it. Those are the best subs in Warzone right now. Unfortunately, pretty much exclusive to Vanguard, but that's how the stats, lay out. That's how the game plays right now. I imagine we'll probably see some changes here at some point in the near future. But that's going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video or if you found it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. That way you can always stay up to date with everything going on in COD. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.